Here we go. Late night at Charles Schwab Fields after 3 thrillers to get this thing started. Couple of walk-offs yesterday with North Carolina against Virginia, then Tennessee against Florida State, and then earlier today we told you Kentucky thanks to Mitch Daly against NC State. Florida at 34-28, went just 13-17 in the SEC, but they are hot and they're here on this 5-game winning streak against the 49-win Aggies. And the first pitch from Lampkin is a strike at 93, and at long last, away we go at 10:16 p.m. local time. Sophomore second baseman Cade Curlin leads things off. Now, it might not be a long start from Justin Lampkin today. Perhaps one time through the order. We'll see how they structure things for this A&M pitching staff. That's down, no chase from Curlin.
He hasn't gone longer than 3 2/3 since April. And so I think if he can get you 9 to 12 outs tonight, you're pretty happy for Jim Schlossnagle. It feels like it's a sprint to Mr. Cortez at some point tonight for Texas A&M to see how many outs he can get you.
1-2, and Curlin strikes out. A lot of swing and miss on the slider for Justin Lampkin.
He gets a lot of it over the course of the year, and he'll throw a ton of it against right-handed hitters. The swing and miss on that slider right there. The righty's about 44% this year. And you got Curlin twice. That one recognizing, swinging at fastball. It's got a really good top-to-bottom break on it, too.
So now Jack Caglione comes up against a very unique defense, against one of the most fearsome sluggers this game has ever seen. His 33 home runs means 4 outfielders.
4 outfielders. Please hit a ground ball to the backside is what they're asking. Please bunt. Please a grounder to short.
Begging you.
That's a strike to Caglione, who saw this from Jim Schlossnagle when these teams met all the way back in March, the opening weekend of SEC play. And Cags is used to a lot of different things like that. 5th on Kylie McDaniel's MLB draft rankings.
We've got more superlatives on Cags than you could possibly imagine, but I still can't get over the fact he's hit 15 homers against righties and 18 against lefties, and it's about half the at-bats.
It's silly. Lampkin, the lefty, gets a little trickler that hit Caglione. And he's out. He was out of the box when it hit him. So he bounces out, and there's 2 gone. It is Omaha after dark.
That's a bad break there for Cags. I mean, you feel like you got to run there because it might be a swinging bunt, and the ball just hooks right off his shoulders. That's about as friendly of an out as you could get from the Florida superstar.
Guy who's got those 18 home runs against lefties and only 6 strikeouts. So Justin Lampkin handles him. And now here's one of the best stories you will find in any college athletic event. Ashton Wilson, 3-hole hitter, hitting behind Jack Caglione. Didn't have a hit the first 3 months of the season. And now he's here batting 3rd in Omaha.
In May, he was hitless. 0 for 6 heading into May. He's now batting for the season. He's now batting 3rd in the College World Series. It is an incredible story.
Charleston Southern transfer fouls it back.
3 doubles and a homer in the regional opener. And the next day he was hitting 3rd for the first time. Didn't waste any time. All right. We'll play the hot hand. He stayed there ever since. That was 2 weeks ago.
Pair of injuries prompted that in the outfield for Florida. Lampkin's 1-2 is strike 3 called. Lampkin bookends a 1-2-3 top of the first with a couple of Ks and hang around. Omaha after dark.
Real swing and miss slider.
One of the most talented young arms Florida's had as a rookie. Luke Hammond is getting situated with Jackson Appel in the box. And away we go with 94. Appel, first team All-SEC, a Houston native, fifth-year senior in his first year with the Aggies after 4 at Penn. 93 from Peterson. Jackson Appel, 2 times All-Ivy League, and one of the transfers added by Jim Schlossnagle in year 3. 1-2.
And, you know, him hitting leadoff, this is not the Aggie lineup that we saw for the vast majority of the season. Braden Montgomery, their star right fielder, gets hurt. Appel goes from the cleanup spot to the leadoff spot. Grahovac goes from 1 to 3. It's moved defensive pieces around too. So a little different looking Aggie team than we've seen for most of the year.
Yeah, such a devastating injury to Braden Montgomery. The right ankle last weekend during Super Regionals. 3rd on Kylie McDaniel's MLB draft rankings.
Yeah, I mean, you talk about if you're just doing like athleticism and the high end of a prospect's 5 tools, he's right there with anybody.
Appel strikes out. Filthy curveball from Peterson.
Felt like you right there. Ooh. Right when he threw it. There's 2 breaking balls. He'll show you the slider. He's going to throw a little bit harder, and then he'll show you this one. This is the slower curveball that has more top to bottom. About a 20-mile-an-hour difference between a fastball that's been up to 97 and then that one. First out of the night for Peterson's a strikeout.
Well, if the delay was a worry about these starting pitchers and how they handled it, they both look pretty sharp here very early.
And now Peterson faces Jace Laviolette, sophomore star, team leader in OPS for the Aggies with a team high 28 home runs. Preseason first team All-American. They've been on the USA Collegiate National Team over the summer. 98 away.
Kid's feeling a little jumpy tonight now. 4-hour delay didn't do anything for the fastball, apparently.
See, we think this is late, but like if you're 20, this is like
you're not even going out yet.
That's spiked at a mere 97. Liam Peterson typically sits 94 with his fastball, and it is a premium arm that went to Gainesville. Top 35 recruit in the country, according to Perfect Game. This is lined backside and foul. Kevin O'Sullivan said to us this morning, feels like a week ago at this point, that Liam Peterson is one of the most talented ones he's ever had.
Yeah, when Sully tells you he's got a future first rounder, you pay attention. He's had plenty of those in his time, and he has circled this one as a kind of a slam dunk from the jump, even when it was shaky early.
2-2. South of the knees.
All fastballs. I think so far. I know to Laviolette, but I think all fastballs so far in his game.
That fits with what Kevin O'Sullivan said to Liam Peterson yesterday. And at that point, they were expecting the wind to really be coming in. So that was part of the plan. Another heater, and it misses. And Jace Laviolette coaxes a walk.
Guys, yesterday, Kevin O'Sullivan called up Liam Peterson and said, hey, do you want to come to the game, the nightcap, and let's watch a couple innings together. You can see them sitting behind the plate. He said, I wanted the freshman to just get a feel of what it was going to be like in this ballpark at night, how it plays. He said, as a head coach, you don't get to spend a whole lot of time with guys one-on-one. So they stayed for about 4 or 5 innings. He also said it was good to see how the beginning of yesterday played. It wasn't perfect baseball, and that not everyone is going to play that here.
How rare is that?
I think it's awesome. When he was telling us the story this morning, I thought it was great. Just to even think of that. Hey, I want to actually hang out with you in the environment that you're going to be in tomorrow night. And oh, by the way, we're going to wear our credentials the entire time. That was outstanding.
Ball at a strikeout, Gavin Grahovac. And how about how Sully told us 4 times they got kicked out of seats?
Yes. Don't you see our credentials?
Kind of a big deal here.
I've been here 9 times the last 14 College World Series. Runner on the move, swing and a miss, the throw down in time to get Laviolette. He said the other day he wants to run more without Montgomery.
He ran a ton last year. What do you have, 30 last year?
Told us the other day he has set a goal for next year of 25, and he's getting started early at the end of his sophomore year.
That is interesting how it changes their lineup, right? If Braden Montgomery's up to bat, you just kind of stay put at first base. You're basically already in scoring position. This is going to be interesting here. Are they talking about the tag, whether they want to review it or?
I think they're talking.
Yeah, it looked like the tag was at the foot, and we see this.
Second base, Florida is challenging that ruling. Play is under further review.
Kyle, 18 stolen bases for Laviolette, so close.
Yeah, it's halfway to
30-ish.
Something like
that. It's a lot. And the other thing is, when you see him, you don't think he's going to be as fast as he is. I mean, this is a really athletic kid.
Well, you know, we talked about the defense moving. He was playing center all year. I mean, that's how athletic he is.
I don't think so. Well, he got him on the calf.
Yeah, he gets him right around the
He didn't get him on the foot, but he got him on the calf. Big guy. You put me in that spot last night. I'm going to do it to you here.
I need another look. This is the one as a base stealer that just drives you nuts because you feel like you're past the throw, but that tag, it can get you before the hand arrives.
If you're new to college baseball, coaches get 2 challenges per game, and you retain them if you're successful. And of course, you need indisputable video evidence to reverse a call, as we as a society know by now. Now, how about 6'6", 230 pounds, swiping bags, whether it's 30 or 18?
Yeah. Last year, 18 of 22. This year, just 6 of 8. Toolsy kid. I mean, Laviolette's going to be a no doubt top 10 pick next year, but he's kind of
could go 1-1.
He could go 1-1, no doubt.
Chat things over with Florida's second baseman Cade Curlin.
After further review, the ruling on the field of safe stands. Florida is charged 1 challenge and has 1 remaining.
So only 1 left for Kevin O'Sullivan, unsuccessful there. And Chase Laviolette moves into scoring position for the Aggies for Gavin Grahovac in a 1-ball, 2-strike count. Two different breaking balls from Liam Peterson.
Yeah, that's a slider. So the slider you're going to see low to mid 80s, and then the curveball will dip into the 70s. It was the curveball that he got Appel swinging on for the strikeout.
Two-two pitch. Swing and a miss at 98 from Liam Peterson, who is fan 2 here in the first.
Berkey, he's getting some swing and miss on that fastball. And the swing and miss on the fastball is actually a little bit less than you think it would be based on velocity this year for Liam Peterson, but doesn't look that way right now.
Well, I mean, the average heater right now is 97. He's hit 98 a handful of times. You know, all year long it's been 94. So the whiff rate pretty ordinary at 94, but turns out 4 miles an hour harder helps.
In a stunning turn of events. Here's Hayden Schott, the 6th-year senior DH from Newport Beach, California. Transfer out of the Ivy League like Appel from Columbia. And one of the most entertaining players in the beautiful world of college baseball. You may know him from social media.
If you don't, you should.
That's a land strike with the curve. Jim Schlossnagle said to us today he's hysterical. He paused and he said that's his best trait. Among many for Hayden Schott. With a man in scoring position and 2 outs here in the first. A rollover ground ball at Jack Caglione, who flips, and Liam Peterson posts a 0. No score after 1. Off and running in Omaha. Top 2 on the way, and Colby Shelton, the shortstop and transfer from Alabama, against Justin Lampkin. This Florida team did it the hard way. Preseason number 2 in the country. Stayed top 10 until mid-April, but lost 6 straight SEC series. Lampkin handles a bunt from Shelton. Got to hurry. Got it there in time. What a way.
Okay, You bunted a fair amount, didn't you?
Yeah.
So, did you ever think about lefty righty, which way they're going to fall off the mound?
Always.
Okay, that's my only thing with this is lefty's going to fall that way, and I'm not sure where he was trying to take it. You probably got a better chance to take this one with him.
Yeah, it looks like a drag, which would be to third, and normally with especially a power lefty, I would, righty would push, and a lefty you'd almost slug it, try to hit it right at the second baseman.
Lampkin handled it. Now Luke Heyman takes a backdoor breaking ball. Sophomore catcher from Longwood, Florida. Last year as a freshman on the SEC All-Freshman team. Not the same numbers this year, but still rock solid at 16 home runs. Nothing at 2. Luke Heyman is a draft-eligible sophomore. Homered in Game 1 of the Super Regional for Florida at Clemson. A 10-7 win on Saturday, and that 11-10 13-inning classic on Sunday. (34-28). We told you the record for the Gators. Only team here not a top 16 national seed. It's up high, 2-2. If you look at winning percentage, it's tied for the worst winning percentage for any team entering the College World Series that Florida's got. But not all teams like that were the preseason number 2 and the reigning runner-up. In the air towards center. Travis Chestnut is moved out there with the Montgomery injury. 2 gone.
And the wind has moved a few times over the course of our rain delay. It is now back to blowing straight in. So just get that out of the way early. But
it'll keep letting down. I mean, I think over the course of it, it'll affect it a little bit. Hey, early returns. This doesn't look like the guy that has pitched a third of an inning in a month.
No.
Lampkin so far has his A stuff.
Again, it's 9 pitches since the end of the regular season for Justin Lampkin before tonight. Now faces the veteran left fielder Tyler Shelnut. Grew up a Gators fan, you know by now. He's homered in 2 of the last 3 games during this NCAA tournament run. For Lampkin, his second year in a key role on this pitching staff. Stepped in right away and logged a lot of innings last year as a freshman. Good breaking ball.
Landing breaking balls, manipulating the fastball to the top and the edges. I mean, it's impressive right now.
He lands that breaking ball about 58% of the time to righties. That's pretty darn good control. Change up there.
No swing. We're talking with the A&M pitching coach Max Weiner, who was saying to us about Lampkin. It's been a unique season. At one point he lost his arm slot, got more sinkery was the word that Weiner used for Justin Lampkin. But he is recommitted to who he is. Swing and a miss. That's a 4-seamer with ride, and it strikes out Tyler Shelnut. 6 up, 6 down for Justin Lampkin.
I'm all in.
It's town.
All in.
Kind of feels right.
It just does.
First career concert for me. OAR.
Huey Lewis in the news here. You weren't even born yet.
Who?
Yep.
Bottom 2, Aggies bat against Liam Peterson. This is the 5 spot in the first baseman Ted Burton. 24-year-old Michigan transfer, originally from Huntington Beach, California. Full-time starter the last couple of years for the Wolverines. Last year, all Big Ten as a second baseman. Bounces one to short, and Colby Shelton over there this year for the first out.
Yeah, Colby Shelton, a big part of this Florida team. He has been fantastic at shortstop. Really was kind of a get-by third baseman last year as a freshman in Alabama. Transferred to Florida, wanted the chance to be a shortstop, and boy has he proven himself. The number 2 rated defensive run save shortstop in this event, behind only Griff O'Farrell from Virginia. He has really established himself as a real shortstop this year.
One of the many high-end draft prospects we've got here in this 18 field in Omaha. Here's the true freshman left fielder, Caden Sorrell, SEC All-Freshman team, a native of Texas from Highland Village. Didn't start at all the first few weeks of the season. Wasn't a full-time starter until late March. Then Hayden Schott went from left field to DH, and Sorrell went into the outfield. Change up there for a strike.
Yeah, you look at Sorrell, it's one of those bodies that you go, 10 home runs when he still very much looks like a freshman. This is a kid that he could hit 20 next year.
Bounces one past Peterson into center, and he's got a base knock. The first of the ball game on either side.
And for Sorrell, his first single of the postseason, came into this game 2 for 19 in the NCAA tournament, both home runs. Just a lousy single there, KB.
Take that tonight. My man's fighting through it right now.
Yeah.
He wasn't expecting a 10-15 start, but he is ready to go.
It looks like he's having fun.
Love the fit, too, that he's got. Nice hoodie. Both fan bases still packing this place as we approach 11 o'clock local time and midnight Eastern. This is the shortstop in the 7th spot, Ali Camarillo, one of the transfers for Texas A&M. Good defense and a solid bat. Camarillo has undergone swing changes throughout the season after transferring in from Cal State Northridge. Last year, first team All Big West. Breaking ball back. These Aggies 49-13 for the season. 19-11 in the SEC. Number 3 national seed you see on the scoreboard. The highest in program history for them in the NCAA tournament. And here for the second time in the last 3 years since the coaching change.
Is that any good? Come in, take over a program, Omaha, too, your first 3 years. Jim Schlossnagle, he just knows how to get teams to almost 7 times as a head coach.
Down.
But this time battling the adversity. Braden Montgomery, we talked about that. Big injury as well last weekend on Sunday to Shane Sadeo, who had been the Game 2 starter. Sophomore with an ERA in the high 2s. The pitch, cut and a miss on 94 from Peterson.
Yeah, and despite all that adversity, undefeated in the postseason. Swept through both rounds. Even though, I mean, those are 2 of the most impactful players on this roster.
Beat Oregon with a couple of comebacks in the Super.
Hey, now, Camarillo can surprise you a little bit with some pop. I know the wind's blowing in a little bit from center field, but Florida's playing pretty shallow in the outfield right now. We've seen other teams play a lot deeper than this.
7 home runs this year for the California native. Full count. If you haven't watched Texas A&M before, this is a patient offense. Known for that over the last 3 years. Caden Kent, Grand Slam hero from the Super on deck. This offense averages the most pitches per plate appearance in the entire country.
Very patient. That's a trait of all the Jim Schlossnagle offenses. They are going to work counts. They are going to make you establish the strike zone. They're also very efficient in the run game.
Runner goes on the 3-2, and this is popped up in foul ground. Jack Caglione runs out of room.
The Aggies don't steal a ton of bases, but when they go, they make it. 85% success rate on the year. And of course, we know they hit the ball at the ballpark, right? The number 4 home run team in college baseball this year. So walks and bombs has really been the key to the Aggie offense this year.
Almost 400 even for Texas A&M to lead the country offensively. 3-2 again, runner on the move, and that's sprayed foul. You know, we talked about, and Chris reported this on the visit to this ballpark last night for Kevin O'Sullivan and Liam Peterson. And the message from Sully was, you're going to see that the first inning is the most difficult one. So that's why they wanted all fastballs. Again, expecting that the wind would be blowing in. But boy, he looked good in the first, and now if he can just settle into this thing. This will be the 8th pitch here to Camarillo. 3-2, runner goes, and that misses and goes to the backstop. Sorrell into scoring position, and 2 on for Texas A&M in the second.
It's interesting that the velo has ticked back down too. Like, it's been a lot of 94s here in this inning. Which is there any fear that when a guy goes out there and is 3 or 4 clicks up that maybe he's exerted too much in the first?
Yeah, I think there absolutely is, especially in an environment like this. I mean, I know he watched a game here last night.
Yeah.
He hadn't played a game here yet. And you've been thinking about this one for probably most of your life since you started playing the game.
Here's Caden Kent against Peterson. Caden Kent had the grand slam that we alluded to in game 2 of the Super Regional back at College Station. What a moment for him, stepping into the starting lineup because of the injury we told you about to Braden Montgomery. Son of Jeff Kent, of course, 19 years in the big leagues, former National League MVP in 2000.
One of the great hitters of his generation. Fortunate to spend a little bit of time in the clubhouse with his old man, and man, could he hit.
0-2. Hot shot right field, base hit for Caden Kent. It's a stop sign for Sorrell at third, and the Aggies have him loaded in the second.
That's too good 0-2. I mean, the 0-1 changeup was good. It was down, it was out of zone. Kent swung through it, and they come right back to it. Back-to-back him with a changeup. That was a little warmer. That was 86, but it was also elevated, and Berkey just catches way too much at the plate.
Yeah, that basically just worked as a kind of a hanging fastball. I mean, 80, like you said, it was firmer with way less bite to it. And what a story Caden Kent is becoming for the Aggies. Now 6 for 12 in postseason play.
It'll prompt a visit to the mound from Florida head coach Kevin O'Sullivan. .35 pitches in, bottom of the second, bases loaded, and trouble for Liam Peterson and the Gators. Again, for Peterson, he was very good in the regional against Nebraska. KP, you were there for it in Stillwater. 5 1/3, 2 runs. That continued a good finish to his season. Kevin O'Sullivan's talked about he was the best pitcher, the best starting pitcher we had down the stretch. And then in the Super Game 1 last Saturday, only got 3 outs.
And you saw that.
Yeah.
And you compare stuff what you've seen tonight. Honestly, you almost can't compare stuff because stuff in the first inning was a bit different than stuff in the second inning so far.
Well, in his last start, the issue was control. I mean, he just could not find the strike zone. Whereas, you know, today, yeah, there's been the 1 walk, but really, I think the issue with Peterson right now is did maybe he empty the tank a little too much in the first. I mean, we're talking about 4 or 5 miles an hour different on the fastball here in the second inning. Now he finds himself after a really smooth first with all kinds of problems here in the second.
Against the senior center fielder for A&M in the 9th spot, Travis Chestnut. That's 91 on the edge. Chestnut wasn't a full-time starter until April. We told you he's gone from second base to center with the Montgomery injury. Breaking ball away. Caden Sorrell singled up the middle, first hit in this game. Camarillo walked, and then Caden Kent stayed hot with a pull side single at 104 off his bat. And now Chestnut. 1-2. Kevin O'Sullivan said to us today about Liam Peterson, one of the big reasons he's improved the last 6 weeks is pitching with men on base.
Got to be able to handle traffic. Big part of the learning curve for a young pitcher.
1-2.
The reality is, for a lot of these guys in high school, they don't pitch out of stretch very much.
Yeah.
Because there's not guys on base. He's now pitched out of the stretch each of the first 2 innings and most of the first 2 innings.
And about to throw his 40th pitch already. 2-2. Chestnut skies it. Foul ground outside of first. Caglione runs out of room. Yeah, you look at before and after, where they feel like the light went on for Liam Peterson, the middle of April against Vanderbilt. Since then, opponents hitting just 175 with men on base. Before that, hitting 286 with men aboard. And the overall numbers tell a similar story. 2-2. Chestnut bounces it to third. Thomas
is late.
Didn't get there. Sorrell scores and the Aggies lead.
Okay. You played the position. I haven't. Well, I did at Creighton Prep. It isn't far away, but it's been 30-some years. It kind of seemed like he had 3 decisions in his mind to make right there, and he just wasn't quite sure which one.
Well, you got to know ball speed and runner speed.
Right.
Chestnut's the fastest dude on the field. As soon as you jump for this ball in foul territory, your only thought should be beat the runner to the base. You see Dale Thomas start to act like he's going to throw that ball across the diamond. That was never going to be the play. And if he just goes immediately, well, it ended up being actually really close. If he goes immediately to third, he gets him, no doubt. Instead, the Gators get no outs on a ground ball they field in the infield with the bases loaded. And that's a missed chance to put two outs on the board in this inning. But I tell you, it ended up being a lot closer than it looked to the naked eye. See if the Gators review this one. It looks like they're thinking about it.
But remember, they are down to just one challenge.
Yeah.
So do you want to burn or risk burning your second and last one in the second?
He's out.
I think he's out.
Yeah, he is out.
What's going on at the dugout?
Yeah, now there's some barking. Whoa. That's the Florida dugout right on the outskirts of it. And security personnel steps in. So hopefully that situation handled, but it doesn't appear like we are getting a challenge.
No. Almost like they lost the attention over whether they should even challenge the play at third base.
And you're talking about wiping a guy off of third and adding obviously the second out of the inning. Instead loaded up for Jackson Appel. So that looms large here in the bottom of the second in this day 2 nightcap here in Omaha. Appel struck out on a curveball from Liam Peterson his first time. That one sails away from Heyman, and Camarillo scores. So the non-challenge immediately proves costly, and it's 2-0.
Yeah, and guys, this is more of the Liam Peterson that we saw last week. Yeah, the misses are big, and you know Luke Heyman needs to catch that ball. That's a ball that needs to be caught. But again, all of a sudden the ball is just being scattered all over the place. Fastball's riding, it's cutting. He's not landing the breaking ball.
Now the 1-1. It's a good changeup that he comes back with there. So 1-2 on Jackson Appel. Jim Schlossnagle said to us today this guy's been incredible, and he's been banged up as well, bothered by some knee and foot issues. Fouled away. Appel had been batting in the 4-hole, and they loved him there because he doesn't strike out a whole lot. So they always felt like he'd be hitting with men aboard and very often would deliver with 2 outs.
This is the guy they want up in a situation like this right here. You got a chance to in middle of the infield back, and you got probably your best back control guy up to bat. The veteran approach right here is just let the ball get deep and try to hit a ground ball right at the shortstop.
Two in scoring position, and the 1-2 is cut on and missed. Peterson responds with a good curveball for out number 2.
Both times he struck Appel out today, it's been on that same pitch. It's a slow curveball. That's 76. The first time it was 77 miles an hour. Tell you what, that one's looked good, and the changeups look pretty good so far. The fastball you get to be a little bit worried about, but if he can figure out a way to wiggle out of this thing and only give up 2,
yeah,
if you're Florida, it feels pretty good right now.
And they're going to intentionally walk Jace Laviolette. He had the 28 home runs and first overall pick potential next year, to load him up and instead take a right-on-right with the freshman Gavin Grahovac. Right move for sure?
Absolutely. Grahovac really struggles with the right-handed breaking ball. You're talking about a young man that leads the country in strikeouts. So you go to this right-on-right matchup and trust the ability to spin the breaking ball right here.
And it is cause for a ball 5 chant. Breaking ball to start to Gavin Grahovac out of Orange, California. We told you SEC Freshman of the Year with an A&M freshman record 22 home runs. Fanned on 98 from Peterson back in the first. 49th pitch. It's cut on and missed. That's a slider.
Breaking ball, breaking ball. I mean, that's what you know you're getting in this at bat. The question is, KP, do you even want to mess around with a heater right here?
Last one went to the backstop.
Liam Peterson has one picked out. 0-2. It is a heater, and it's 97 to blow him away. And yes, the inning is over.
That's 3, boys. I think a heater was a good idea right there.
Yeah, good call.
You're going to throw it at 97 and put it on the outside black. Throw that one. Well, the Aggies are on top. First 2 of the game. Liam Peterson, freshman with good stuff, but A&M, couple of hits, couple of walks, 2 on the board. It's 2-0 Aggies.
Welcome back to the NCAA Men's College World Series, presented by Capital One. Late night at Charles Schwab Field after a 4-hour and 7-minute weather delay before the start of this one. We got going after 10 o'clock local. Couple runs for the number 3 national seed Texas A&M and both teams opener. And now Dale Thomas leads off 7, 8, and 9 for the Gators against Justin Lampkin. Nothing at 2 on the 5th-year senior Thomas in his 2nd year with the Gators after 3 years at Coastal Carolina, where initially he arrived as a walk-on. Guy with more than 700 career plate appearances. Up the ladder. Lampkin has looked really sharp.
He's looked great. Fastball's been into the low 90s. For Lampkin over the course of this year, that average fastball velo's like 90. We've seen some 94s from him already.
Sophomore from Corpus Christi, who had started 13 times this year before tonight. 92 there. Last year, about 60 innings for Lampkin. Pitched as both a starter and a reliever as a true freshman. An ERA in the 5s. His 1-2 to Thomas. Cut on and missed. Good changeup. And it's the 4th K for Justin Lampkin. Tomorrow at Fenway Park, Sunday Night Baseball features the Yankees visiting the Red Sox to finish out the series. They have split the first couple of games. Coverage starts at 5 with baseball tonight, Sunday Night Countdown. Then Yankees, Red Sox at 7 here on ESPN, ESPN Cortez, and ESPN Radio. So 1 gone, base is empty, and here's Brody Dene in the 8th spot out of Lakeland, Florida, the Virginia Tech transfer. Dozen home runs this year, including last Sunday in Game 2 of the Super Regional at Clemson. Nothing at 2.
That game had a lot of huge moments. I mean, like, too many to completely remember, but Done's home run to right center field felt like one of those swings that was really going to carry the Gators to victory. And then, of course, Cam Canarilla happened. But it's big time power. There's no question about it. There's certainly some swing and miss, and it hasn't been perfect this year, but he can fill up the batter's box.
He opened some eyes nationally this past summer in the Cape Cod League. Lampkin's 1-2. Challenged him up the ladder. Another youngster still with us. 11:03 local. Swing and a miss. 93, and it's 3 straight strikeouts and 5 total for Justin Lampkin. Well, in that super, Michael Robertson was clutch. He punched a ticket, and he's no stranger to clutch moments. This was last year against TCU.
Yeah, their star Braden Taylor trying to tie the ball game up, and Michael Robertson with one of the best catches you will ever see in about as big a moment as you will ever see it. Sent the Gators to the championship series.
Watson!
It was incredible.
408-foot out. Hang with them.
Welcome to the Chuck.
Michael said afterward, I kind of almost blacked out, but after reviewing the footage, he said it looked all right on camera. I think so. Left on left, he rolls well past the dive of Caden Kent into center. And it's a single out of the 9th spot for Michael Robertson and the first base runner for the Gators against Justin Lampkin. And
it's been a big part of the Gators story is the emergence of Michael Robertson down the stretch. Only hitting 255 for the year, but it's now over 300 in the postseason. Finally, somebody gets to Justin Lampkin's fastball, and the big piece of Robertson emerging is he's turning the lineup over consistently, where now you got Curlin up with Cags on deck.
Second time through for the Gators against Lampkin. Curlin struck out on a slider his first time. Kevin O'Sullivan said to us today, don't discount the fact with Cade Curlin's numbers this year that the second week of the season he got hit in the hand, played for a month with a small crack in his hand that changed his swing as well.
There's still plenty of juice for Curlin, but I mean, half the season he wasn't healthy. There's a lot of swing and miss too, and that's what can get you with Curlin at times. But man, if he runs into it, he can run one out of it.
Said he might need surgery after the season.
Foul!
Fouled off himself at home plate, 1-1.
Well, it's his top hand, and they just feel like the barrel has been underplaying more than it was the year before. Specifically, he struggled getting the bat square to the fastball up in the zone. And of course, in today's world, a book like that gets out on you, people are going to go there.
There you go, KP. Chris Cortez, he of the 100-mile-an-hour sinkers, is up in the A&M pen. And Lampkin just slips coming off the mound, so Robertson moves into scoring position on the bar.
Grab a spike.
I don't know if that front spike caught on the way going to home plate, or if the back spike didn't catch and that back foot came out. Should be able to see it here. Yeah,
it slid out. Yeah.
Back foot spun and.
So now man at second with 2 outs here in the third. And Lampkin's 1-1.
Swing and a miss.
He's got all three now. All three have been really good. That time to slot. Over 2-1 strikes to balls here with 2 outs in the third.
Justin Lampkin's 1-2. You know, we were talking with Max Weiner, his pitching coach, today about the slider. And it felt like they were saying that the movement of it is more a product of where the arm slot begins and then ends. But this has some real movement and bite to it.
It's got some down to it also.
2-2. Tried another and a full count out of Curlin.
Now what? I mean, you got the scariest guy in college baseball on deck, and you got a runner in scoring position in a 3-2 count. I mean, this is whatever you feel most confident to throw a strike with. You have to throw it right here.
Lampkin's 3-2. Swing and a miss.
Got him.
Goes off speed in the dirt and punches out Cade Curlin.
Welcome back. Bottom of the third, Aggies up 2-0. Hayden Shaw, for all the character that he is, grew up going to Culver Military Academy. There he is, all dressed up, him and his dad. And I was talking with him yesterday. His brother Mitchell is actually in Indianapolis right now, swimming in the Olympic trials. He will have 2 events tomorrow morning in the prelims. Mom is up in Indianapolis. Dad is down here watching. We talked about the personality of Hayden. He was like, yeah, my brother goes to Princeton and is trying to qualify for the Olympics, and I DH.
Oh, that's good. Kid from Newport Beach, California. 2-0 from Liam Peterson to Schott, who took the well-known path that everyone takes.
Yes.
Newport Beach to a prestigious military school in Indiana, then to junior college, and then to the Ivy League.
Now he's an Aggie.
Of course.
I think it's safe to say he's the only one in human history that has taken that route.
Berkey, you got anyone else?
Well, let me think a second.
6th-year senior for Texas A&M. Works a 5-pitch walk, and he's aboard to lead off the bottom of the third for his Aggies up 2-0 on Florida.
Schott actually has another year if he wants it.
It's crazy.
Because they got 2 COVID years in the Ivy. Because they didn't play in 20, they didn't play in 21. So if he wants to come back and play, he can.
He had posted on Instagram a few weeks ago, real life is going to be interesting after this is done. So we asked him about it, and he said, I don't know what's next. But he confirmed he does have that other year. Why not stick around?
Yeah, I mean, they could get him for another year. They could get Appel for another year. I think Appel probably signs.
Yeah, left-handed catcher. There's those aren't lying around street corners, but it's a great opportunity for this Aggie team to continue some of the nucleus of this group that has played so well all year long.
Fisher Jameson, you saw starting to throw in the Florida bullpen at right, and Jake Clemente joining in the pen. 55 pitches into the bottom of the third for the freshman Liam Peterson. Now facing Ted Burton. Luke Heyman was trying to get some attention there before that first one.
And when you start losing your command, this is not the offense you want to be up against. I mean, they will wait you out and wait you out. Nobody here swings less at the first pitch than the Aggies. And if Jim Schlossnagle hunts a pitcher that's uncomfortable on the mound, he might just put a take on. Heck, he might make you take till you get to 2 strikes.
Schloss's coaching staffs have done these studies before. He says that teams that end up in Omaha, the one common denominator is that they're top 30 in the country in on-base percentage and pitches per plate appearance. So he trusts the data.
And sometimes you have to manipulate that. You have to manufacture it, right? There are some players very comfortable with getting deep in accounts, very comfortable with seeing pitches. Other hitters, you literally have to force them to do it. But you look at the success they've had here in the 3 years under Schloss, and it's pretty easy to get buy-in.
Yes. Yeah. When you say, hey, I've been there now 7 times, and this is how we got there, hang with me. This works.
Career high walk rate for this guy, Ted Burton. And a full count, unsurprisingly.
This is not the team that's going to go up there and bail you out. They're going to make you get the ball over the wide of the plate and in the middle part of the zone. And if you don't get it there, they will take their walk and move it on to the next guy.
It's a very low chase rate for Ted Burton. Skies this one in the air to left at Tyler Shellman. 1 away. How do you think Florida manages the pitching at this stage? You figure they obviously want to get it down the stretch to Brandon Neely, but we're in the bottom of the third.
Yeah, but I think it's either going to be really tight or to have the lead if you're going to bring Neely in. Fisher Jameson up and throwing right now. He got the last 10 outs of Game 7 in the regional for him. So he has the ability to give you some depth too as well. I mean, ideally they want Peterson out there as long as you can if the stuff matches it.
He's got his first out here in the bottom of the third, and now the freshman left fielder for the Aggies, Caden Sorrell. Check swing, roller, foul. Sorrell singled up the middle his first time in the second and scored in that 2-run inning for Texas A&M. Top 100 recruit in the country coming in. Both of Caden's grandfathers played in the majors. Father got drafted out of high school as well by the Red Sox and has joked this is kind of a family business. Nothing in two.
Both grandfathers.
And that's something.
That really is.
They knew Sorrell would be good, but he announced himself very early on in his career. Pulls this one on a line to center, and Robertson won't get there. One hops off the wall. Shot motors around third, stumbled, the relay, not in time. It's an RBI double for Caden Sorrell.
Here is a fastball that just right down Broadway, a touchdown, but literally center cut. And you talk about dropping the barrel on a baseball, 105 miles an hour right over the head of Michael Robertson. And boy, is he struggling to get around the bases there, boys. Hayden Schott laboring to get home.
He is dealing with a knee injury and then had the stumble. And Caden Sorrell has ended the evening for Liam Peterson. Kevin O'Sullivan signals to the bullpen and will extract Liam Peterson here in the bottom of the third. Peterson departs. Fisher Jameson enters. And they're checking out Hayden Schott in that Texas A&M dugout. His Aggies have the lead 3-0 on the Gators. Late night here, and Fisher Jameson comes on. The junior at 6'5" from Lake Worth, Florida, who Kevin O'Sullivan has called an unsung hero.
There's a high trust factor with Fisher Jameson. He's on for the 33rd time. And for a guy that's only made one start this year, he's thrown 60 innings. So he can give you length. And fast as his last 2 times out, went 4 innings against Clemson. Went 3 1/3 against Nebraska. His fastball velo's usually low 90s. He was up to 97 against Nebraska a few weeks ago. So environment can pump it up a little bit more after a really good first inning for the freshman right-hander. Stuff got a little bit tougher, and that's why Florida goes to the bullpen early today.
Peterson out, Jameson in. 3-0 Aggies. Man at second, and Ali Camarillo takes ball 1 at 92. Camarillo walked and scored in the second. (2-0) from Fisher Jameson.
He will throw that slider more than 50% of the time over the course of the year, but I think it's interesting against this patient A&M offense. He gets a lot of chase too, but they don't chase that much, and so you're going to have to land it a little bit more.
Ball.
Knowing an offense works that way, KP, is a pitcher that does what for you?
Well, I think you feel it out when you're out there. I mean, you start to approach the way that you've always approached, but at the end of the day, you still got to throw strikes. Doesn't matter who it is. You just got to throw a few more of these guys.
That's on the edge. Kevin O'Sullivan said recently he can see a different confidence level in Fisher Jameson. He's had a total breakout season this year. Former top 200 recruit. Misses there, and Camarillo works his second walk in as many innings. There's 2 on for Texas A&M with just the 1 out.
Aggies have already worked 5 walks. This is just what you're in for when you play this offense.
So 2 on for Caden Kent. Smoked the pull side single his first time. Caden Kent admitted to us the other day that he did think about leaving after his freshman year. He wondered if he could compete at the SEC level. Went to summer ball, said he contemplated that decision, but he ended up staying and said even before this weekend got started, I don't regret it at all. Why would you after the big moment he experienced in College Station?
And you got to feel good for the kid. I mean, he waits it out. He waits his turn. By all indications, just been a fantastic teammate. Then he has a moment like that in a home super regional.
That miss is 3-0. Caden told us this week he's watched it back a few times.
Of course.
Understandably. Said they do make some cool videos. And also said he saw a video of his father Jeff's reaction, standing up with his hands above his head, and said, usually my father doesn't show a lot of emotion.
I'd say that's accurate. I saw him show some emotion when he hit a walk-off winner in Game 5 of the NLCS, though. It's happened before. It's rare.
Son Caden works a walk. A&M has him loaded up with Jeff Kent's son getting aboard. 17 seasons in the big leagues. Look at that. 05
Yes.
All-Star game.
Yes. Little dude can hit now. Not little anymore.
No.
Well, he's loaded him up for Travis Chestnut. And that's strike one with a heater at the knees. Chestnut is a spark plug. Mentioned the speed earlier. It's at the bottom of the lineup for Texas A&M. Had the run-scoring infield single his first time. Down 0-2.
Well, Jameson shaky coming in out of the bullpen, but you better find it quickly, or this Aggie offense can run away and hide. And that's two big pitches right there.
0-2 makes you feel a little bit better. Now you're going to see a whole lot of sliders.
From Jameson to strike out Chestnut. Right on cue.
It's the one he's most comfortable with, that's for sure. And he'll throw it behind, he'll throw it ahead. But if he gets ahead, he will lean on it. The last two were that same pitch to Chestnut at a time that you really need swing and miss and really need a strikeout. Jameson got a big one right there.
Travis Chestnut's out number 2 in the lineup. Turns back to the top for the catcher Jackson Appel. Doesn't typically strike out much, but he is fanned twice. Both times on curveballs from Liam Peterson. First team all SEC catcher. Transfer, as we said, from Penn. With the bases loaded in the third. A ball and a strike. Kevin O'Sullivan will chat with Chris Budden in the next half inning. On the ground, right at second, and Curlin stabs. Jameson gets out of dodge and limits the damage to 1.
Kay Curlin been playing some top shelf defense here down the stretch for the Gators. That is a hot shot and a run-saving play.
Chris Cortez, the junior righty from Las Vegas, with a 2.83 ERA.
So second time through the order, you get Cags for the second time. And I think if you told Jim Schlossnagle today that Lampkin's going to go get you 9 outs, obviously a 0 on the board, man, you take that every day. And now you see how far Cortez can go. He has been outstanding for A&M, especially the second half of the season. Fastball up to 100.
And he gets, indeed, Jack Caglione, as Chris told you. And that's 88 to start to Cags. Berkey, you were talking about it. He hits lefties better than righties. So even though you go away, you bring in Cortez, and maybe a birthday prize coming. Oh, this one hits Caglione, who it appears already had some blood on that knee. Couple off-speed pitches from Cortez. That appeared to be his trusty slider.
I think that's what it was. Yeah, he got around it.
Yeah.
Ooh. Yeah, probably from this, we assume. It's not comfortable.
Well, no, and that doesn't give over there. I mean, that fencing that's down below, it's not like a chain link fence. It doesn't go anywhere.
But always good to have evidence that he bleeds.
Yeah. Wouldn't expect it,
You know.
but now we know.
He's human. Okay.
He is built like a tank. Everything is just outsized with him. He's on for Ashton Wilson against Cortez.
This is a scenario the Gators have seen a lot this postseason and down the stretch of the year, which is Jack Caglione on first via a free pass. Now, granted, that one hit by pitch, and now it's up to the middle of this order to make it pay.
Oh, no. Did he?
Another slider to Wilson, who didn't offer, according to Linus Baker.
Is he throwing a fastball yet?
I don't think so.
That's 5 straight sliders.
Top 150 MLB draft prospect, according to our Kylie McDaniel. Was very good against Florida in the regular season. And it's another slider. 2-2.
He does, by the numbers, he throws the slider a little bit more than the fastball, which may surprise some people because he does throw 100. But still, the slider is his best swing and miss pitch, but the fastball is special.
It averages 98.3. There's the first one. That's 100 from Chris Cortez.
There you go. Mix that in. I want to go there every once in a while.
Little show me two-seamer at 100.
It's a pitch that has come a long way this year for Chris Cortez. Dealing with a full count to Wilson.
Oh, no.
Slider. And on a check swing, Wilson didn't offer. And so it's hit, batter, and walk since Cortez followed Justin Lampkin.
Who was outstanding. He faced 10 guys in 3 innings. 6 of the 9 outs via the strikeout. 2 on the slider, 2 on the fastball, which he controlled the entire night, and 2 on the changeup. We talked about how Lampkin was out there. He really had all 3, and proof right there on the 6 strikeouts. Gave up just 1 hit. It was a 2-out single to Robertson in the 3rd.
And I know you got Cags coming up, and it's the 2nd time through the order, but those are 3 pretty strong innings, and to now, you know, again, this has been your best guy, but for him to start the inning off with 2 free passes has to be frustrating for that Aggie dugout.
Absolutely. I think it's a balance of plan and what you see with your eyes.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, plan is, hey man, if he gets us 9 outs, like we'll take that every day because we think Cortez can go get us 12, maybe more. See how far he can go. But the eyes told you stuff's a little bit different than we've seen the back half of the year with Lampkin.
We talked to him about this specific dilemma, and it didn't feel like he was totally settled on it even as of earlier today. I think ultimately what won out is this has been their best guy. They've got a 3-run lead. Let's give him the ball.
After a visit from Max Wiener, it's a slider to start out. To Colby Shelton, the sophomore shortstop, top 60 on the MLB draft board. Now, you had asked specifically to Jim Schlossnagle if he would stick with it if Lampkin looked good. He looked probably even better than we could have imagined at that point.
I'm good. I'm good. Yeah.
Fouled off right at home plate. But flip side is, again, Cortez has pitched really well this season, but especially recently. Coming off 5 2/3 shutout with a career high 10 strikeouts in the Super. And that continues what he's done now his last 4. Swing and a miss. And how about 29 strikeouts and not even his last 14 full innings?
Yeah, it's been dominant, but hey, College World Series, you know, you got to refine your rhythm in a new environment.
1-2. Swing and a miss. 90-mile-an-hour slider from Chris Cortez for the first out in the 4th.
There it is.
He can get it back on track pretty quick, too. That time goes back-to-back sliders to Shelton after a 2-seam fastball earlier in that at bat that had 20 inches of horizontal break. The plate is 17 inches. Pitch broke more than the width of the plate at 99. And then he goes back-to-back sliders to finish off Shelton.
1 away, here's Luke Heyman. So much that has gone into Chris Cortez's pitch mix. Used the slider for the strikeout and now faces the catcher in the 5 spot and Heyman, who flew out to center. With Caglione and Wilson aboard for Florida down 3. So much work on the slider and on the sinker in particular for Chris Cortez with his pitching coach Max Wiener.
I mean, they made a very intentional change with the way that he releases the fastball and the way that he grips the fastball.
A sinker gets a bouncer at Kent, the flip, Camarillo's turn, and plenty of time for 2. 100 helps as well when you're throwing that sinker.
100 that's a bowling ball when it gets to home plate. They usually drive that one to the ground. That time it's good for 2 outs. Because that was my favorite one that you've ever read in my entire life.
It's a competitive ranking. It really is.
Well, it's gonna be tough to overtake that.
I dabbled in a few of the nugs earlier.
Did you?
I saw that.
Are they saucy, in fact?
Yeah.
Filled up a pretty big cup, Mike.
Yeah. Of garlic parm, if you're wondering.
It wasn't, but thank you.
I smelled that.
All right. I can try some of those tomorrow.
Yeah. Fisher Jameson, meanwhile, bottom of the 4th, working against Jace Laviolette. With Texas A&M up 3-0. That's a strike. Where are we at on intake of caffeine? Late night?
I'm 2 deep. Well, I'm 1.5 deep. Working on 2.
For the day or for the game?
Big game.
Oh. It's considerable. 2-1.
A few restroom breaks. You guys got me covered.
Didn't you just go?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Oh.
I'm just foreshadowing. There could be a couple
I got you.
more.
In case you all were wondering. 2-2.
Ball now!
Check swing. No, he didn't, says Grady Smith. Full count on the superstar Jace Laviolette, who's walked a couple of times. Intentionally so in the 2nd, his last time, in front of Gavin Grahovac. Fisher Jameson's payoff. In the air toward left and tailing away in foul ground and toward the seats. Solid catch out there. That's the Kyle Peterson approach with the buttons on the left.
Similar.
Not a bashful smile.
It wasn't bashful showing the ball to the crowd.
No.
But yeah, the photo he didn't look real comfortable with. Maybe it's the buttons.
Yes. That's where he was looking.
This is clubbed and launched to right center with Robertson back with room for out number 1. .104 miles an hour off the bat for Jace Laviolette.
Not much wind blowing. That's just, the ball was just missed. Because when that man covers it up without wind, it does not matter how deep the gaps are. But that launch at 35 degrees and maybe just a cut below the sweet spot of the baseball right there.
He can go concourse hunting here.
This is a bullet past the dive of Colby Shelton. And Gavin Grahovac's got a 1-out single here in the 4th. First time he's been aboard in the College World Series. Smoked it.
170-mile-an-hour bullet, 2-seamer down and in. And yeah, Grahovac hits the top just a touch, but man, showing off his strength right there. A rocket past the diving Colby Shelton. 2 pretty loud contacts back-to-back right there by the studs in this Aggie order.
So a man on for the cleanup man. Hayden Schott was able to stay in there, and he sees the slider for strike 1.
Yeah, looks like the knee's okay. Something tells me they were probably tending a little bit to the brace itself. Running around the bases that hard.
I asked him the other day, how's the knee? He said, toughen it out. But he said, put in your notes, I'm good.
There you go.
Did you write it?
Brody's good.
We're good.
Knee brace good. for Hayden Schott, the 6th-year senior and Columbia transfer. 0-2 is down. Big old batch of popcorn there. Peterson approved. Some ice cream as well. The key is don't spill the popcorn in a broadcast booth. 1-2.
It happened once. It happened one time. One time. Spill popcorn one time, and you guys don't forget it.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to be judged by one of my biggest mistakes either, Mike. I think you need to apologize.
Kyle, I'm sorry for the things I've said.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Means a lot.
That is strike 3 called. Shot goes down looking, and there's 2 gone.
You know, the Jameson slider has so much top to bottom movement that I think a lot of guys do that. They do give up on it because you don't think it's going to come all the way down. Watch where this thing starts. It's 1-2 if you're Heyman. You want to let that drop. Don't go get that. Catch that as close to your body as you possibly can, so it makes it look a little bit better to the home plate umpire. Shot goes down looking on the slider.
So 2 gone in the bottom of the 4th with A&M up by 3. And now Ted Burton, first baseman in the 5 spot, is grounded out to short and has a fly out to left. Originally played for Eric Bakich at Michigan and then for Tracy Smith. We've heard from Kevin O'Sullivan. We'll hear from Jim Schlossnagle as well with Chris Budden. KB was asking for an umbrella at one point.
We're good.
We're clear.
We're good.
Remember, you said that at 4:30 when we asked if
It was good if
rain was coming.
We were good then.
Yeah,
Count it.
nailed it.
I just wanted to spend more time with you guys.
Thanks, man.
I got a chance to do that. Well, you left. I talked to everybody that was left in the ballpark, I think, for 2 hours.
You
came
thought
back
that
to
was
see
funny,
us.
huh, Mike?
I thought it was very funny
Interesting.
when your calls were not being picked up by KP.
I'm used to that.
Did you know you left a voicemail?
No,
You did. 1:57.
that was because you didn't answer. So
Meant a lot to me.
Don't worry, re-listen to it. Man aboard, 2 outs, bottom of the 4th, and the 2-2. Bouncing ball up the middle, and Colby Shelton flips to Curland, and the inning is over. Don't worry, we're all good up here in the booth. Everybody's friends. To the 5th next. With his team up by 3, and again, big part of the story for the Aggies is the key injuries last weekend. This is Tyler Shelnut leading off for the Gators.
Schloss starts firing, the Celsius is down. He's going to be breaking film down until about 6 in the morning, I think, at this point.
200 milligrams of caffeine.
That'll get you standing straight up.
Love you, Chris.
Shelnut struck out on a fastball his first time to end the 2nd against Lampkin. 97 up high. Tyler Shelnut has really increased his power production this year. 15 home runs after 7 all of last year. Ton of movement again on that sinker. I told you the movement's different, and Cortez is throwing it a full mile an hour harder than he did last year. And then the slider. That is sick.
Okay, so here's the difference, all right? We've seen a 2-seam fastball move 20 inches arm side already today. And that slider moved 10 inches the other way. The difference at home plate is almost twice the width of home plate itself. 30-inch difference between where the 2-seamers ended up today and where that slider ends up. And you got to dial up for 100. And when you dial up for 100, he's going to get swing and miss on the slider out of the zone.
He's got 1 away here in the 5th, and now Dale Thomas.
Ball.
that thing is dancing at home plate right now, and the tunnel piece too. I mean, the release point and the arm angle identical with both offerings.
Okay, so when you're facing, who's the guy that threw the hardest, that had the best slider combination that you faced?
I would compare it to like Zambrano.
Okay, so did you just eliminate one and say I'm hunting the other one?
Yes, pre-2 strikes, you just, for me, with a guy like that that's 100, it's the barrel has to get out in front. And with 2 strikes, it's completely hold on for dear life.
This is the growth in the slider over the last couple of seasons for Cortez. Goes right back to it, doubling up.
We're hitting 103 on the pitch.
You're not going to hit it, so why would you hunt it? Right? You're getting ready for 100. It's a 50-50 proposition. I mean, his splits are literally 50% heaters, 50% sliders. You get 3 tries to be right.
He had a big old shake and throws a slider that Dale Thomas pulls in the left. 1 out single for Florida off Cortez.
And that's the one that doesn't sweep.
Just enough.
Right? That one kind of stayed middle, and you see him, he didn't want it.
Yeah, that's the just kidding shake right there, just to try to make you think he's going to something else.
That breaking ball had no sweep to it, KP. That one just sat. And again, that's kind of what you're up against as a hitter. You need him to mess up.
Yes.
Brings up Brody Donay, who struck out swinging his first time on a fastball from Justin Lampkin, who started really opened for the Aggies. You can hear start in the zone, the message to Chris Cortez, CC. Because when he's in the zone, then when he's out, it makes it so much more tempting to go after.
Yeah, well, you get a hitter a little bit in protect mode, and that's where you'll get the chase.
Told you career high 10 strikeouts last week. 8 of them came on the slider. He is pumping them in there tonight. Another 3-1 with a man aboard for Florida.
It really just becomes, can he throw enough strikes? Because if he throws enough strikes, there aren't too many people that are going to hit him. They're not going to get 4 hits in an inning off of Cortez. You're going to have to run into one.
Michael Robertson next. Another slider.
Well, and that's why the Gators are here, because they get the ability to run.
Yes.
Number 5 home run team in the country. It's power, really pure power, 7 of the 9 spots in the order.
Payoff. Swing and a miss. Run around the move and the throw. Does not get Dale Thomas. But another strikeout with a slider for Chris Cortez. And there's 2 gone.
3-1 count. He's throwing 100 miles an hour. Slider. I thought Appel did a nice job of making this close. Camarillo, or did he? Or Kent there at second base. Did he get him on the backside? Wow, that was close.
Athletic catch, and like you said, a great effort in any event from Jackson Appel. Now man in scoring position for Michael Robertson. Singled up the middle his first time back in the 3rd. Man who's provided plenty of clutch moments, like we said, here in the postseason the last couple of years. That misses at 99.
He had the catch last year against TCU, the walk-off base hit to beat the Clemson Tigers last weekend.
To end the game that lasted 5 hours and 4 minutes. An absolute classic that you were there for.
One of the best baseball games I've ever seen. Certainly one of the most interesting. He had a lot going on that afternoon.
A couple of ejections involved. And it's second, 2 outs, the 1-2. Swing and a miss. Chris Cortez fans 3 in the 5th, and he is locked in his 2nd inning of work. It's one of the game's really bright stars and personalities by all accounts. Max Wiener said it's a contagious smile.
It is that. All 3 years in college, his season has ended right here too. First 2 years at Stanford here in the series, and now junior year with the Aggies.
There's not many who can say that. Well, his team up 3-0 without him playing. The Number 3 national seed Texas A&M against Florida. Caden Sorrell's had a good day so far, leading off in the bottom of the 5th against Fisher Jameson.
The kid's got a remarkable way about him. I got to talk to him a little bit today at the hotel. And just the joy and the smile of where most people would be pretty devastated to have an injury that ends your year, especially this time of year. It's a different kind of kid. Very positive energy.
You see Montgomery wearing the hat that says good on it. It comes from a podcast video from Jocko Willenick. The super motivational. The whole point of it is that when something bad is going on, there's going to be something good that comes from it. Schlossnagle got it sent in 2014, and he thought it was important for this team. And of course, as the 12th man does, they get it printed, and you look around, Bluebell Park, everyone else is wearing it as well. But just to remember that every time something bad happens, it happens for a reason. Something good will eventually come out of it.
Cool lid.
Yeah, I kind of dug in there a little bit on it too. Of, you know, it's something bad happens. It could be something big, like what's going on with Brady Montgomery. It could be something small, like you walk the leadoff hitter. Good. I got a chance to pitch out of stretch. Watch this still play ball. You know, I struck out my first 2 at-bats. Good. Watch me bounce back. So it's just this mindset of like, I'm going to choose to filter what happens to me through a lens of watch what happens next. Or maybe things are going good for you, and it's like, hey, good. That's
build
good.
on it.
Yeah, good for you.
Ali Camarillo drops down a bunt that Dale Thomas fields. Got there in time. So first Sorrell, and now Camarillo retired. A couple of quick outs much needed for Fisher Jameson and the Gators.
That was kind of nifty glove work right here by Dale Thomas. This boy has a little hook spin on it.
There's ground hooks on him.
And he's gonna catch it open glove, and then he goes backhand and still gets the grip and throws a strike. This was not an easy play considering the spin and the little ground hook, as you say, KP, like a lot of your drives do there.
Nodding.
Yeah, I mean, it's already flown 295 by the time it ground hooks, but
2 gone, bottom of the 5th. This is Caden Kent out of the 8th spot, staring at strike 1. Pull side single his first time, and then a walk for the sophomore from Austin, Texas. 4 for 9 with 7 driven in the super. In the air toward left center, and Tyler Shelton takes charge. 1, 2, 3 in the 5th. 3-0 Aggies in front of the Gators. After dark. Happy Father's Day, gentlemen.
Thank you.
6th inning, as we tick past midnight, Kate Curlin gets drilled with 97 off the helmet and a smile. Ooh. About as good of a face as you can see after that.
Well, the smile's for a few reasons. One is he's okay. And 2, when you're staring the proposition of facing Chris Cortez down, like HBP's not the worst thing in the world, but he handled that one with a joy that's a little odd when you take one off the helmet.
Pleased to be a base runner for Jack Caglione. He got hit his last time. Kylie's got Cag's 5th on his rankings. Says it's obviously 80 grade raw power and at least plus bat to ball ability. Kylie said there are very few humans on this earth who have his physical ability.
Well, the only possible knock is that he does go outside of the zone more than, say, Condon or Travis Bazzana. But in the zone, his whiff rate is way below the norm. Like he only swings and misses 10% at strikes. When you think about somebody that can impact the ball like he can, as big as he is, as long as he is, the fact that he essentially doesn't miss pitches in the strike zone, I think as he gets more mature and continues to develop as a hitter and brings his strike zone in even tighter, that's a trait that's really going to carry. Because we know what he does when he impacts the ball, right? And then as soon as he stops swinging at pitches that are outside of the zone, this could be one of the best hitters on the planet.
2-1 from Cortez. Is down. For the casual fan who's maybe up late night or just tuning in at this time of the year, hitting is definitely priority one at the next level for him compared to pitching.
Absolutely. It wouldn't shock me if he doesn't pitch.
Yeah, I don't think he will. Yeah.
But I think you just say you do things that other people don't go do. Let's just do more of that.
This is bounced foul with Kurland on the move.
Well, and the reality is, again, from a pro point of view, he's actually backed up a little bit as a prospect. Like the velocity has ticked down as the year has gone on. He's been effective. That doesn't mean he's not been a good college pitcher, but his stuff has lightened a little bit. Last week, it was like 91, 93, whereas the offense is just ascending.
Nobody out, 3-2. Caglione pops it foul. He's got the 33 home runs. With those, he's tied his own single season program home run record. And so it's 73 for his career, and that's one off tying Matt Laporta's program record. And Laporta is here tonight. Broke foul.
So how about this for improvement? His first 2 years on campus, he walked 4% of the time and 5% of the time. This year, 17.5. Okay, now last year he struck out 18% of the time. This year, 8. So you think about it, he's tripled his walk rate, and he's cut his punch outs by more than half. Like, if that doesn't scream.
He hit the same number of home runs.
And he hit the same number of homers. Like, you talk about developing.
He's battling. The 8th pitch is pulled into right field and a rocket for Cags to the corner. Kurland gets a late stop sign around third, and it's a 117-mile-an-hour double for Jack Caglione.
Oh, did we mention he can impact the ball? A hanging breaking ball, and really, like, this is a miracle this ball doesn't get launched onto the concourse. Only 12 degrees of launch, just a really flat move through the back of this baseball. But 117 now matching Christian Moore as the hardest ball hit here at the College World Series so far. And for Jack Caglione, only his 8th double of the year, and most of those have come here in the NCAA tournament.
2 in scoring position and nobody out for Florida, and Ashton Wilson goes first pitch swinging against Cortez.
And an SEC coach text me when they were playing Nebraska. He had a double off the very top of the wall in right center field. The text was, I didn't know he could hit doubles. We don't see that. It doesn't happen very often. Well, hook it 117 down the line, and it does.
That misses a little bit south at 99, and it's 1-1 on Wilson. Guy who was 2.5 weeks away from heading to junior college at Florida Southwestern when Florida came calling. That's a strike. Wilson was playing pickleball, checked his phone, had 17 missed calls, 6 text messages. He opened up his phone, saw only 2 letters, UF. And now he's batting behind Jack Caglione in Omaha. Went back to the pickleball game, by the way, he was telling me.
Good for him.
And he was shaking with excitement. 2 aboard. 2-2. Swing and a miss. 1 gone.
Michael Monaco, give me the updated swing and miss for Cortez. By the way, the fastball right there was really good to Wilson early, and it just creates more room for this. For Cortez, folks, he's gotten 7 outs, and he's got 15 swings and misses already since he's come into the game.
How many do we think with the slider? 13? Around there?
Yeah, it's got to be close.
1 away, Colby Shelton. Watches a sinker grab the bottom of the zone.
It wouldn't shock me if he's the first guy from this draft that's in the big leagues. Cortez. Because, I mean, the stuff plays right now if he throws strikes.
Bowling balls to make it 0-2. against a high-end prospect in his own right in Colby Shelton, the Alabama transfer. Cortez is 0-2. Swing and a miss. Karams away. Curlin will not move, and Jackson Appel caps the K.
We talk so often about how hard it is to hit a guy throwing 100 with a slider like this. It's not easy to catch him here. And right here for Appel, this ball's down in the dirt. You're going to get a swing and miss. Blocking it's one thing, but keeping it at least close enough to where nobody can advance. And it gets away from Appel a little bit, but not far enough. It was an aggressive secondary from Curlin. Took a few extra hops. That time had to go back after the first two reach in the inning. Cortez has punched the next two out.
12 of the 17 outs recorded by A&M pitching are via the strikeout, matching the most this program's ever done in Omaha. And it's a swinging strike one to Luke Heyman. Catcher in the 5 spot with a fly out to center. And he has bounced into a 4-6-3 double play. The first time he saw Cortez in the 4th. This is lifted to right and shallow. Jace Laviolette in, and Cortez is out of the 6th. And happy Father's Day to all of you watching, wherever you are in whatever time zone.
You can do 2 games on Father's Day today. That's kind of fun.
Yeah. Not often you get that.
You get to do 3, Monaco.
Sleep fast.
Yep.
You're built for it. I believe in you.
Can't wait. Maybe Schloss will share a little Celsius or Button.
Ball.
She's cornered the market on that. As Travis Chestnut leads off, 9-1-2 for the Aggies, up by 3 in the 6th. Fisher Jameson still out there for Florida. She got 2 1/3 from its starter Liam Peterson. And now it's been 2 2/3 scoreless, just 1 hit from Fisher Jameson. So you got some foot traffic as well against Chris Cortez that inning. And Jameson trying to keep the Gators within striking distance. Swing and a miss.
Yep.
There's that good slider and a punch out for Jameson, his 3rd.
He's done his job. It was a little iffy right when he came in, but look at that slider, gyro on the way in too. I mean, that's where gravity's just going to take it over and shove that thing straight down. It doesn't have much side to side. It only moved 2 inches horizontally. I mean, it is going straight down when it gets to home plate.
Gyro spin is what?
You can see the white at the top of the baseball. It's one of those things that, I mean, we've learned over the last 5, 6, 7 years that if you can do that, if you can generate that type of spin going towards home plate, it's going to move down a lot more.
It did for Jameson, and now Jackson Appel up and in. Leadoff man and catcher Appel's 0 for 3. A couple strikeouts and a ground out to second. Great crowd here still as well. At 12:14 local time at the Chuck. If you're flipping around and landed here, this is live. We had a 4-hour and 7-minute weather delay. Ooh. Full count on Jackson Appel.
Real life right in front of us.
To confirm.
To confirm that.
That's a walk, and Appel is on with 1 out in the 6th. We were airing earlier during the delay, Florida State, Tennessee, and I got a text message from an unnamed family member saying, wow, what a game you had tonight. That was crazy.
Just wait till you see the next one.
Kevin O'Sullivan trudges out of the Florida dugout. 52 pitches deep. He takes the ball from Fisher, Jameson, who departs in the 6th, with the Aggies up by 3 on the Gators. Florida to the pen to the sophomore lefty Cade Fisher from Georgia. Started out this season as the Friday start.
Yeah, and really the back half of the season, most of the work has been out of the bullpen. 25th appearance, 9 of those were starts for Fisher. The stuff will play up a little bit when he comes out of the bullpen. It's fastball, slider only to lefties. He'll throw some changeups to righties. It'll be in the low 90s, averaged about 90 over the course of the year. You could see a little bit more though when he comes out of the pen.
He enters to face Chase Laviolette, the superstar right fielder from the left side for the Aggies. He set the program's single season walks record tonight with a couple, including one intentionally in the 2nd. Heater to start at 89. Told you 7 games without a home run for Chase, his longest stretch of the season. Has 28 big flies this year after 21 last year. Program's all-time record is 56. Chase is bearing down. He's just a sophomore.
And similar to Jack Caglione, has reverse splits, has actually done better versus lefties than righties.
Off the end of the bat, he caps one into the shift and tag applied. Not in time to get 2 on Laviolette, who runs well.
Nice play right there by Colby Sheldon. And the Gators, who only have 1 challenge left, of course, did not challenge the play at third base earlier, where we felt like they missed an opportunity to get an out. Looks like we'll get one here.
Only chance you got to turn 2.
Cags was pretty certain that they got him. Oh, I think he's right.
I think he's right too.
I think so as well.
A spike. Would you like to hear that conversation? It's the furthest you've ever hit a ball. Like 513 feet. I hit a train one time.
A couple guys are going to play for a while.
Yeah.
Laviolette standing on the base, but those two are both about 6'5" and incredibly gifted. I think that one's going to be overturned.
USA Collegiate National Team teammates last summer.
Laviolette not quite getting to the front of the base there. You see the foot gets all the way to the top of the bag. It looked like the steps got a little choppy too, and that cost him about 6-8 inches, which is going to be the difference in this. You really got to try to get the edge of your cleat to the front part of the base if you're looking to maximize your steps.
Did you always hit first base with the same foot?
No.
It'd be right sometimes, left sometimes?
After further review, the batter is out at first base. Florida has not charged a challenge and has 1 remaining.
Let's talk about that on the other side.
As dramatic as it gets at 1:21 a.m. Eastern time.
Good morning. Well, Chris Cortez back out there. He came into the 4th inning, so he's got 9 outs. He's got 19 of these so far. Swings and misses. Vast majority have come on the slider. Look at the different shape, too. What he can do with it dependent on count. Some of them have a lot more down than others, but the outcome's pretty much the same every time he throws it. Keg smoked one down the right field line, but aside from that, these Florida hitters have had a hard time making contact at all against Cortez, who's been outstanding in his 3 innings. Gators just 3 hits total so far.
And they send up 6, 7, and 8, starting with Tyler Shellnut against Cortez. Dots 97. Do we want the final word on the base running?
Yeah, Kyle asked me about which foot. I mean, now that I think about it, it feels like I always landed on the base with my right foot, but I don't know that I was intentional about it always being my right foot. Now, if I was making a hard turn to second base, I'm trying to push up with my right foot on the inside part of the base. It did look like Laviolette not only stepped too far on top of the base, but it did not look comfortable getting his feet organized there as he was finishing off that trip down the baseline.
I hear Bill Raftery saying, get those puppies organized.
Get them organized. Catch and shoot 3. You got to do the early work, Mike. Do the early work, then just catch it and let it rip.
Like you playing in the high stakes men's league.
High stakes.
2-2 to Shelnut. Little trickler at third and deemed foul right at the plate by the home plate umpire, Jake Uhlenhoff. Tyler Shelnut was pointing down as well, that it went off his foot.
And Tyler, don't run. When it hits you in the foot, just stand there and sell it.
It was off his toe, wasn't it?
Yeah, hit the very edge of his foot. But this is not one of those that you don't want to run that one out if nobody saw it. Last thing you want to do is.
Did it hit his foot?
It certainly looked like it live. Now, usually hitters don't run when the ball hits their foot, but he kind of sort of ran. He didn't like sell it down the line. Yeah.
I always look like I'm sort of running.
Maybe-ish run.
This is pulled past the dive of Gavin Grahovac into the corner and left. That is really running from Tyler Shelnut with a leadoff double.
KP, we talked about the sliders had some different shapes to it. This one was the one that's a little more top to bottom, and even though it had good depth to it, it did not run away from the barrel enough of Shelnut, and he just squeaks it past Grahovac down the third baseline. And man, this is an offense for the Gators that really needed something good to happen quickly, and a leadoff double is a nice place to start.
Shelnut's aboard in front of Dale Thomas. Swings through the slider, and it got away from Appel. And Shelnut moves up 90 feet. You had said earlier, KP, it can be tough to catch as well with the stuff as good as Chris Cortez. And now Florida will take an offensive timeout.
I mean, the reality of guys that have good breaking balls is they're going to throw them in the dirt because you're going to get so much chase. And there's got to be a huge trust factor with whoever your catcher is. Cortez got a huge trust factor with Appel. You just do, because for his slider to be as good as it possibly can be, you're going to bury some. He's counting on the guy back behind home plate to try to keep it in front.
Dale Thomas had that single his last time against Cortez. Another slider.
Boy, he does not look like he's seeing that thing at all. The head looks like it's up and off.
Maybe some more show me shakes from Cortez before an 0-2. Way outside.
All right, he came into this and he was like 50-50 fastball slider. I bet he's 80-20 slider fastball tonight. He has leaned on it.
Under the direction of his pitching coach, Max Wiener, at the ripe old age of 29. The whiff rate on the slider, how often it's a swing and a miss of the swings. 57% for Cortez. For anyone in Major League Baseball last year that threw that many sliders, best slider whiff rate, 55%. Spencer Strider. That's down. So Thomas spits on a few, and now it's full.
Yeah, boy, ugly start to this at bat for Dale Thomas. A couple big swings and misses, but he has done a nice job of hanging in there, and that was a big take, as it looks like he's starting to dial it in a little bit more on this slider from Cortez.
With Donay on deck, 3-2. Thomas pulls it in the left toward the corner. Surratt dives and can't make the catch. It's an automatic double. Shelnut scores, and Florida's on the board in the 7th.
You could see this from the entire A&M outfield. They were playing shout. They were definitely brought in right there. And for Dale Thomas, and Berkey was talking about it earlier in the at-bat, they were not good swings on the slider. This one was one he could handle. Got more of the plate, elevated enough, Caden Sorrell just about made a highlight reel catch out left. Listen, that's scoring a run either way.
Yeah.
But if he lays out and catches it, it's a sac fly, obviously. Instead, just off his glove, Jim Schlossnagle will make the walk out. Chris Cortez will depart. But if you're A&M, this is the way you wanted it drawn up. Lampkin as far as he can go. Cortez as far as he can go. Then the left-hander that's trotting in out of the bullpen. One on the board for the Gators, though. It's 3-1 Aggies. Snow profile is a little bit different for Ashenbeck, but the outcome has been the same. He doesn't walk anybody. He just 8 walks this year and 65 strikeouts. But he has punched out 72 in that time frame. He's been the one they've trusted at the back end of the bullpen the most. 9 saves, that's most on this Aggie team. On for the 29th time this year.
Ashenbeck leads the country in ERA, and he's the choice against the bottom part of the Florida lineup. And almost a sterling catch in left from Caden Sorrell.
You talk about laying your body on the line. That is full extension going parallel to the ground, and he didn't miss it by much.
So still nobody out here in the 7th. With Dale Thomas at second and Brody Donay in the 8th spot. Coming up, punched out a couple of times. First against Lampkin and then against Cortez. Power hitting transfer from Virginia Tech. Squares and bunts toward third. Grahovac gets rid of it in time. So it moves Thomas to third on a sack from the big-bodied catcher in the 8th spot.
Donay had a safety squeeze last week against Clemson that added an extra run in their Game 1 victory. He handles that bat pretty good for a big old physical catcher.
That's pretty well done because, I mean, you want to force Grahovac to field that ball at third base. You know the base runner's going to go up. Do you think they do it again right here?
It certainly makes sense. They're playing for one. They're playing to get within one swing. You're showing that by sacking. Now Grahovac comes in a little bit at third.
Guy on deck is Cade Kurland. Robertson's had pretty good at-bats at times here these last few weeks.
He definitely has.
Singled in the 3rd, struck out swinging on, you guessed it, a Chris Cortez slider his last time. That lands for a strike. 0-2 from Evan Ashenbeck. Ashenbeck stepping in for Chris Cortez here in the 7th. 0-2. Robertson lays off. Evan Ashenbeck is second on the team in innings pitched. First team All SEC. Senior and Texas native. 1-2. Robertson bounces it up the middle at Camarillo. Out number 2, but a 1-run ball game. So they play for the run, and it's 3-2 now in the 7th.
Professional AB.
Yes. Especially when you get down 0-2.
Right. You got the middle of the infield back. Robertson just does a nice job of hanging in there and moving the baseball. And Dale Thomas and Michael Robertson have both come up huge for the Gators here in the postseason, and that continues in this one.
So now Cade Kurland with 2 outs and the bases empty. 0 for 2, couple Ks, and got hit by a pitch off the helmet with a mere 97.
You're down 3 runs going to the 7th inning, and you're in the back half of your order, and you put up a 2 spot. Like, you talk about a big frame here for the Gators to get within striking distance.
Off the end of the bat, Caden Kent collects. Inning over. It's a 1-run ball game. Boy, we've had a lot of those here in Omaha so far.
Today off, technically, if you're Florida. I don't think you do either. I think you make it a 1-run game, and now, you know, to some extent, you kind of shove all in tonight if you're Florida. Like, you better keep it here for as good as Ashenbeck has been over the course of the season for A&M. Neely's been nails for him since he's gone back to the bullpen, and I'd say the last month or so, specifically in the postseason. But he's the one they want out there late, and he's the one that the Aggies went out there.
And the fastball's the pitch. A 30% whiff rate, average is 18%. It's a different type of fastball. It works up, it works towards his arm side as well. Two-plane heater that gets a ton of swing and miss.
He gets the heart of the lineup for the Aggies, starting with Gavin Grahovac. And yeah, these last 4 outings for Brandon Neely, all in the NCAA tournament. Outstanding. And
Threw
outside.
131 pitches combined in his relief appearances last weekend at Clemson.
4 innings in each game. Game 1,
back-to-back
shutout.
days.
Yeah. It came right back. Kevin O'Sullivan said second weekend in a row he was just incredible. And he punches out Grahovac. Dots a fastball and there's 1 gone.
Talking about that fastball, and he can run it up a little bit more than this. That was 93, but just stuck it on the outside black right there. Grahovac couldn't get the hands going. Good quick start for Brandon Neely out of the bullpen.
Kevin O'Sullivan said to us yesterday morning, I think the first game is more important than the second game to win. Told us he's all in to win game 1.
Well, I mean, you have to win the first one to get to the
all-important second.
To the all-important second. And of course, if you lose the first one, the second one
is really important.
Is very important.
Some would say life or death. Did I not explain it well?
No. I thought it was funny how Sully said it today, just as we were listening to him. Like, but the point was just like, whatever I have to do to win the first game, whether even if I extend some pitching that maybe traditionally he wouldn't extend in a 3-game series or whatever the case might be, he just approaches these game 1s here in Omaha as must wins.
3-1 to Hayden. Shot is a bouncer up the middle, past the reach of Colby Shelton. 1-out single for the injured DH, battling that bulky knee, but he's aboard for the Aggies, up a run. So shot is on in front of Ted Burton in the 5 spot, who's 0 for 3 with a couple of groundouts and a fly out to left. Veteran Michigan transfer. Told you his walks are way up, his strikeouts are way down, and he bounces this one at Shelton for 2. It's a 1-run game to the A. Neely gets the Gators off the field, and Jack Caglione leads off next.
Really, you kind of just need to put things in perspective. For me personally, like, I didn't want to take this jersey off anytime soon. You know, I wanted to ride it out as long as I possibly could. And honestly, just kind of creating that culture of, you know, Florida's a program that belongs in Omaha.
One of the brightest stars in this game, Jack Caglione, is here again. With 33 home runs, he leads off the top of the 8th inning against the best reliever in the country, Evan Ashenbeck. Aggies 3, Gators 2 in the opener for both these teams in Omaha. First pitch to Caglione is a bullet to right center field. Second hit in the last 3 innings for Jack Caglione, and the tying run is on.
Did we mention he likes lefties? And this is what we talk about, the polish of Cags as a hitter, a hanging breaking ball, and he's just ready to hit. I mean, that's a first pitch breaking ball. He recognized it early. He's on time.
Don't you think he's hunting that too right there? Going up, looking first pitch breaking ball. And
I don't think he needs to sit pitches, though. I really do think his bat to ball is so good, and his pitch recognition for the most part has grown so much that he can just be ready to hit.
What's out?
And he's hunting a mistake. Just a lousy 108 there in the right center field.
Nothing compared to 117. He's on for Ashton Wilson. Again, the transfer from Charleston Southern. Takes a backdoor strike. Again, Wilson didn't have a hit until May 11th. And then homer until the regional in Stillwater, Oklahoma. Injuries to Ty Evans and Hayden Yost. Evan Ashenbeck's 1-1. That's a good change. 1-2. Ty Evans broke his wrist. Last played May 11th. Hayden Yost hurt his knee during practice when they were working on fly ball communication, and his cleat got stuck in the ground. So because of that, insert Ashton Wilson now in the 3-hole. 1-2. Swing and a miss. One gone.
You know what the book is on Ashenbeck. That changeup is really special against right-handers. So kind of protected against that. And then he just takes 89, throws it, rides it out away from the right-hander, and Ashton Wilson can't hold up. Third time he struck out today.
So 1 out, 1 on in a 1-run game, and here's the cleanup man, Colby Shelton. Struck out his last 2 times. That's a strike to start out to Shelton. He transferred in from Alabama and told us the other day, I wanted to go compete for Omaha. Also wanted to have a chance to play shortstop. And he's done that exceedingly well for the Gators. 0-2.
And as tough of a night as it's been for Colby Shelton, I mean, this is the kind of guy that makes you nervous in the other dugout. He is the go-ahead run right now. It's a game the Aggies have controlled from start to this point. But this is a dangerous bat up here, capable of putting one on the board quickly.
25 home runs last year for Shelton as a freshman for Alabama. This year the numbers have ticked down. He told us it's been a slower year. Some more struggles for him offensively. But a huge spot here. Ashenbeck's 0-2. Is strike 3 calls. 2 gone.
That first pitch and that last pitch, Ashenbeck might have got a little bit off the outside part of the plate right there. And I mean, in fairness, if the first one is called a strike, if you're Colby Shelton, you know that the zone's maybe growing a little bit away from it. You probably got to protect there, but that one's off the plate.
So it brings up Luke Heyman with those two dispatched by Evan Ashenbeck. Pumping strikes for the Aggies with Caglione at first. Luke Heyman awaits the first pitch from Evan Ashenbeck. That's a strike as well. Fly out, double play ball, fly out for Luke Heyman. Evan Ashenbeck has been nasty against lefties, but really good against righties as well this season. 0-2, because he's got the changeup.
That one's really good against righties.
Here comes the 12th man.
Vocal during Omaha after dark, and a high leverage spot in the 8th. Evan Ashenbeck's 0-2. He's outside. Coaching staff told us Luke Heyman's been a little streaky recently, but good coming here of late. The 1-2. Heyman whoops it into left field, a base hit down the line. Caglione goes first to third, Heyman to second, and Florida's in business.
This part of the lineup, man, it's dangerous. They're pitchable, but it's dangerous. This is a slider. Look at him get into his right knee. That right knee almost all the way on the ground. That is getting below a breaking ball. And then how about Cags just running right in the face of Sorrell? And that allows Heyman to move up. And Jack Caglione, that's a big man, but he can move way more than people think he can. The Gators playing aggressively, and now the go-ahead run into scoring position.
With the veteran Tyler Shelnut, before he bats, we'll wait on a visit from Texas A&M's pitching coach, Max Weiner. Comes out all smiles.
See that positive attitude and energy that we got to see a little bit from him today. But you talk about how do you get to the breaking ball? You have to get below it. The design of the pitch is to get below your barrel. Watch that right knee. He is on the ground. You saw Adrian Beltre, Josh Donaldson, Reggie Jackson was famous for doing it back in the day. You have to beat that ball to the point and get below it. And boy, did Luke Heyman do a nice job of doing that right there as he rifled that ball in the left field corner.
He's at second with Caglione at third for Tyler Shelnut, who doubled his last time to the pull side. Now facing Ashenbeck. This is away. (1-0). That's down, and Appel blocks it. Tyler Shelnut has swung it exceedingly well this year with runners in scoring position. When you talk about the changeup as well, he's hit changeups very well this season. Florida has struggled with men in scoring position so far tonight. 2 on, 2 out, 2-0. Is a strike with the changeup.
I see a few more. I don't know if that's the last one. I mean, that's if Ashenbeck's going off speed against a righty, that's the one he's more comfortable throwing, and count really doesn't matter. He's comfortable throwing it in any count.
2-1 is a strike again. Same spot, 2-2.
Ball is just clipped the bottom outside part of the zone. Nice job by Appel there of framing that one up.
With 2 on and 2 out, Evan Ashenbeck's 2-2 up high.
Show me pitch. That's a climb the ladder fastball to go back to the changeup. You got to believe here, huh, KP?
Yeah, you would think so. I mean, if you can get Chase there, great. But if not, I got a feeling he's coming back with a change again.
Ashenbeck's payoff. Another foul right at home plate.
Did not look like Shelnut was sitting on that one. Just fortunate to get a piece. But with first base open and your best pitch against right-handers being a changeup, if you're Shelnut here, you got to have a real good feel for what Ashenbeck's going to right now.
In a ballpark with hats askew and tension filling this place. The 7th pitch is outside and they're loaded. So they are loaded up for Florida. Down a run in the 8th inning. Game in which they've been behind since the 2nd. And here comes the 5th-year senior, Dale Thomas, with 2 hits in this game, both to the pull side his last 2 trips. Ashenbeck's first is in for a strike. Jack Caglione led off this inning with a single. Then 2 strikeouts, and Luke Heyman went down to double. And Tyler Shelnut walked to load him up for Florida in this heavyweight all-SEC showdown after hours. The 0-1. Thomas hits it on the ground, right side, softly at Kent. Shovels in time!
After further review, the ruling on the field of out is confirmed. Florida has used their last challenge and has none remaining for the game.
And the newly minted National Stopper of the Year, Evan Ashenbeck, comes through and leaves him loaded. With Kyle Peterson and Chris Burke, Mike Monaco with you upstairs, and Chris Budden down at field level. Brandon Neely goes back to work with Florida still down a run. against Texas A&M as Caden Sorrell leads off for the Aggies with a 2-hit night.
Can I take Sorrell as my pick to click next year? Right now? Can I just get out in front? Like, I got the first pick, and I'm taking Sorrell pick to click next year.
Like, define it, because I already said he was going to hit 20.
I think he's going to hit like 20 home runs. And I think you're going to see a huge jump next year.
Get in line.
It just looks right.
Agreed.
Pulls in the interim to right, but run down by Ashton Wilson. Makes a fine play on a rocketed 109 off Sorrell's bat.
Boy, have a night, kid. And this is a rough league because this ball is scorched, and Ashton Wilson you talk about getting a great jump on a ball.
A perfect route.
I mean, that ball is smoked, and the drop step and then track it and reach it to finish it off. But he was right on time getting back to the wall and taking a perfect angle to finish that play.
Saying I hit it well. Ali Camarillo bats now with 1 out and the bases empty for Texas A&M, who, if you're just joining us, got 2 in the second and 1 in the third. Gators got 2 in the 7th. And it's a 1-run ball game in the last of the 8th. It's a high spin fastball from Brandon Neely. Spin rate of 2,400. 2,300 right there. That's why you said, Berkey, metrically it's one of the best. Evan Ashenbeck waits. Sails high, 2-2.
That's the place where he tends to get a lot of his chase and whiff is up there above the hitting zone. Camarillo, nice job of laying off.
Swing and a miss. Power slider at 88 for out number 2.
I'll tell you, Neely's been really good since he's been in. He's also been efficient. And that's important. If Florida's going to make a run through this thing, he's going to be a big part of it for sure. Has faced the minimum since coming on.
Frustrated Camarillo is out number 2, and now Caden Kent. Single walk flyout. Well, you talk about this time of the year for a couple power programs getting here. You got Caden Kent stepping in at second. We just saw Ashton Wilson stepping in at right. And guys being asked to make big defensive plays. Relatively new to their starting lineups.
Yeah, this is not the way the Aggie roster and lineup was designed throughout the course of the year. But again, undefeated in the postseason, and now 3 outs away from starting 1-0 here in the College World Series. Just really shining a light on how talented this roster is.
1-2. And again, these first games, like second games, are very important. Past 42 College World Series, only 4 teams have lost their first here and gone on to win the national title. Swing and a miss. Neely fans 2 in a 1-2-3 8th inning. 3-2 Aggies, top of the 9th, 8-9-1 for the Gators. Tonight's Capital One rewarding performance is centered around some excellent pitching from Texas A&M.
Justin Lampkin got it going, man. He was outstanding. Worked 3 innings, scoreless, faced just 1 over the minimum. Mr. Cortez comes in throwing 100 with a swing and miss slider that will match up with anybody's in the country, and Evan Ashenbeck to follow. The ideal 3, if you're the Aggies today, that you're going to use, if you got a real chance to win this, are the 3 guys that they've used up to this point.
And they're tasking Ashenbeck with finishing it. He gets 8-9-1 on a night where Aggie pitching has piled up 14 strikeouts, the most for him ever here in the program's 8th trip to the College World Series. Brody Donne is down 0-2. He struck out twice and had a sac bunt. Can they get it to Caglione?
This we were talking about the other night. Can Tennessee get
Yeah.
it to Christian Moore? And when they did, they got 4 straight hits and walked it off.
0-2 is outside.
Yeah, I mean, the Gators are going to take a run however they can get it here in the 9th, but boy, they'd love to see Cags up with some opportunities to drive in runs.
Fouled away.
You good, Jackson?
How good is this baseball? Never before in College World Series history have each of the first 4 games all been decided by 1 run.
There's a lot of never befores already.
Swing and a miss. 1 away in the 9th. You're watching the NCAA Men's College World Series presented by Capital One. A lot of firsts, a lot of never has this happened. 3 walk-offs the first 3 games, and now a dandy here past 1 o'clock in Omaha. This is Michael Robertson. First pitch up high to the center fielder in the 9 spot. Singled in the 3rd and had a professional RBI ground out in the 7th. Left on left. It's down 2-0 from Ashenbeck. Michael Robertson has really scuffled against lefties this year. Only 1 extra base hit and OPS at 550. It's in for a strike.
I like that right there too. The take, like, just, you know, not the best threat in this lineup to hit a homer, make Ashenbeck land that breaking ball.
Backside in the hole, and Robertson's on. Tying run aboard for the Gators in the 9th inning.
Well, you talk about a young hitter who has really figured out how to use the backside of the field. As you said, Mikey, Robertson has struggled versus lefties this year overall, but down the stretch he has really figured out how to let the ball travel and use the backside of the field. That's a 2-1 breaking ball that he shoots in the 6 hole.
And if he hits it there, I don't care who's playing shortstop, you're not throwing it.
Safe.
He can flat out move, and he's on for Cade Curlin. This is down, and Appel smothers it. Jackson Appel keeps it in front with Robertson aboard. Cade Curlin is 0 for 3 and has been hit by a pitch. Ashenbeck's 1-0. It's fouled back. A slider left up.
If Curlin reaches, do you pitch to Cags? If he doesn't, do you?
Curlin strokes it in the air to right. Laviolette backs up and makes the catch. Wow!
He robbed it.
Yes, he did. Yeah, he can do that too, by the way.
This ball, I mean, this ball is smoked to right field. Curlin thinks he has it. And again, the 6'5", 6'6" Laviolette times it up, organizes the puppies, and climbs the ladder there, Mikey, to take away a 2-run homer.
And now they will pitch to Jack Caglione. First pitch strike. How good is this? One of the sport's biggest superstars, maybe the biggest, with Florida down to its final out in the 9th inning in a 1-run game, facing the best relief pitcher in the country and the nation's leader in ERA. 0-1. 0-2. Better against lefties, than righties. But in a 0-2 bind against Ashenbeck. Who's 0-2? He's outside.
If he sees another strike in this at bat, it's a mistake. But the intent right here for Ashenbeck is try to get Chase. Everything has been away from Caglione so far, but if it's over the wide of the plate, it's unintentional right now.
1-2, and on the hands foul.
That was the unintentional one right there, because that could have intentionally been hit into the 15th row. Caglione just got to go a little bit too early.
We talked to an SEC coaching staff this year that put on its scouting report against Caglione, no strikes, and they meant it seriously. 1-2, down and away. Ashenbeck follows that logic, and it's 2-2. Ashton Wilson is on deck and would be next for the Gators. With the ultra-fast Robertson aboard. 2-2 is down and a full count on Caglione.
Well, the Aggies could not be playing any deeper in the outfield. They are trying to take away that double to tie the game up. Look how deep they are in the corners. Incredible, almost with their heels on the track. And I'm with you, KP, right here. You just cannot throw a strike.
3-2 is away, ball 4. Tying run in scoring position, and the go-ahead run is on for Florida.
How great is this game, man? I mean, just the kid stepping to the plate right now had 6 hits in the regular season. He has 12 in the postseason, and now steps up here with a chance, if he can put something on the green, to tie this one up for the Gators. Next Wiener back out to talk to his left-hander. Ashenbeck's not going anywhere. They're not making a move right here. I think it's just talking approach and what they've seen so far from Wilston. 4 plate appearances. He's walked once, struck out the other 3 times.
And Ashton Wilson gets the best reliever in the country. He told us recently, the last month, it's just been crazy. He said, I'm not on Twitter, but people send me things. And someone sent him a tweet that said, who needs Jack Caglione when you have Ashton Wilson? He's developed into a folk hero. But he told us, what are we doing? That's the best player in college baseball. But Ashton Wilson is hitting right behind Caglione, who got pitched so carefully. And now it's up to Ashton Wilson to continue this ball game for the Gators in the opener against the Aggies. First pitch is called a strike. Two on, 2 out, top 9. Ashenbeck's 0-1. He's up and away. Top step, edge of the seat drama again here in Omaha. Evan Ashenbeck peers in before a 1-1. In for a strike. The 1-2. Swing and a miss. The Aggies win it. A robbery to cap what has been a spectacular 2 days in Omaha.
Gents, that's not a bad 48 hours right there. 4 one-run games, 3 walk-offs, a stolen home run to keep it a 1-run lead tonight for the Aggies, and one of the best relievers in the country. Gets a strikeout with the winning run standing at third base to end it. That's kind of fun.
Yeah, I mean, it's been about the offenses winning the games, and tonight it was about Jace Laviolette climbing the ladder and using that frame and athleticism to keep that ball in the yard, because Kate Curlin almost pulled off some more late inning heroics.